Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I'm so very happy that you're here with me today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme moving from survival to realization. You look through and back through time, through the evolution from one cell beings to rocks and plants, animals that crawl on their bellies to winged ones, two-legged beings, four-legged trees, abundance of life on this planet. We track through the evolution of the original races, the culture races that inhabited planet Earth. The battles that would happen to survive, which thread, which stream of consciousness would stay predominant on the planet and multiply. Is planet Earth meant to be a planet of exuberant, exhilarating love and bliss? Or is it meant to be a lackluster, heartless, cold, power-hungry planet? Those of you who know nature know the answer, because the codes of planet Earth are coded into what happens when we spend time hiking on the land, in the woods, the ocean, mountain, meadows. You get the picture. Why do we all love to travel? It gives us access to those different embedded codes of past consciousness that people have experienced in all of its forms, from pure art to pure battle, to pure greed, to pure love and abundance, happening from a different octave than power over. To move from survival thinking to realization, we have to want something more than what we can buy online or at the mall, or what we can get through spacing out, checking out, running out, and living moment to moment in that false power of thinking that we are in control of our own life. There's a greater power, there's a greater force of life that is a force of love, and it takes you over when you give yourself to it, because you've seen enough in the world that comes from power, that comes from the separate self from the source, the self that grows because it thinks that it's in charge, and it's got to be because it's scared shitless to be itself. Because somehow it learned that being love that it isn't okay, it's not safe. When we survive through inner connection with others, through life, through sharing, through giving, through inner connection directly with the source within ourselves, and we realize we're never alone, we're all one. We are one with that source that fuels the galaxy, the planets, this planet. This planet is so unusual. It's the only planet you can be on to reach God realization. Did you know that? Everyone who's here on this planet is here to awaken. Some of you have done the heavy lifting and have done the work over lifetimes, and in this lifetime to have walked through the important portals, the gateways, I call them, your spirit gateways those gateways that open you to touching and reaching and living in the spirit that you are. So you want to embody it. You want to sing it. You want to dance it. You want to create art from it. You want to lead others. You want to guide others. You want to help others open up. You want to raise your children. You want to love a partner. You want to be the love that you truly are, but you don't know how to be that love. Well, that's what all the work in Spirit Gateways, the Spirit Gateways 21st Century Liberation Roadmap is all about. And you can check that out at my website, IanaLahi.com, IanaLahi.com, and sign up, subscribe, and get a 52-week free video course to get you going. When you survive, you're either living in fear or you're surviving in that interconnected love. So what do I mean about moving? What am I referring to moving from survival to realization? As a dancer and choreographer, as a lover of music, you move all the time. You're either moving away from yourself or coming closer to yourself. You're either moving into fear or you're moving out of fear. You're either moving into your comfort zone or you're moving out of your comfort zone. You're either moving closer to God within you or moving closer to the ego false self who took its position, its station, its life place within you. It's like where it lives from, that place inside of you where it lives. Your life positioning is what? Are you holding on to thinking that you have to stay with that job because it's just going to bring you that paycheck? Well, yeah, that's really important. There's a lot of times in one's life that's important. It's a jump start. And oftentimes it can take you right into what makes you really happiest because you're honored and seen for who you are. So you're given more opportunities to have more responsibility, thus making more money to bring back into your bank account to support you as you mature and you grow into your life. But oftentimes the ways that you would hold on is so fear-based that you're being blocked from living in yourself to the next level. You got to know what you need next. So moving from survival to realization begins with knowing what you feel. You have to go through the layer inside going, well, I feel sad. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of grief right now. I've lost someone I love, and I feel sad about the way the world is. Or I'm feeling really happy right now, like things are really going really super great for me. But you know that life is polarity. It's back and forth. You go through ups and downs, in and outs. So when you're basing your life upon the outer naming who you are, giving you the kudos, the recognition that everything's okay and you don't want to change anything because, hey, this is pretty okay. It's working all right. But what do you have to sacrifice in order to not grow? We can get caught up, or you caught up, in survival instead of the realization of your process and your path. When you are opening to the joy and the excitement, the innocence and the unknown of really where you're going in your life, you begin the journey from survival into realization. As you allow yourself to stretch through your limits and stretch beyond what you're good at, what you are believing you should be doing, and you are taking time to look at the shoulds that you're holding on to. Those shoulds might have worked really well for a particular cycle of your life. You want to honor the cycles in your life. You want to complete those cycles. I jumped ship from one cycle in my life in my early 20s that took me a lot more work to have to complete that cycle later on. In order to avoid our pain of jumping out of a cycle, in order to go into the realization, what we have to do is to know where we live inside of ourselves. Where do you call home? So this is the key teaching here right now for our time together. Your key place of home when you are in survival mode is in your root center. And it's between your pubic bone, that bony place above your sexual organs, and your tailbone, the tip of your tailbone. In between is the root center. It's the space in that diagonal between the pubic bone and tailbone. It's your first PowerPoint center in the Spirit Gateways 21st Century Liberation Roadmap. I'm always talking about those energetic source points within inside of yourself that give you access to the greater power of the light and the consciousness of the source within you. When you're grokked into that, your psychological and emotional and spiritual so-called issues are mended, they drop away. Your whole self is already here. What we're doing is excavating the you that has been afraid to survive. This is the path in the Spirit Gateways work of how to bridge living in survival, in separation, to total realization. You don't get to realization through going into the higher centers, meaning the heart, the throat center, you're speaking your truth, and all the centers, the PowerPoint centers in your head, the third eye, the pineal pituitary, the back of your skull, the secret third eye, and I go into all of that in the Spirit Gateways work, and in particular the Be-Light meditation, which is the registered mark for the meditation system of Spirit Gateways. As you bring to light the fears that you've had about surviving being you, meaning, can you be who you are? Could you be who you are as a child right from the beginning? This isn't analyzing this topic. I don't go into analyzing. There's been enough of that over decades, and it doesn't work. It doesn't create the shift because you've got to bring in your higher self, your soul, and the source that's within you and unify it to really have realization. So we do this in Spirit Gateways. To start here, we're going to invite you to feel into the space between your pubic bone and tailbone, and then to include in your awareness your lower belly and to feel how it feels. Is it open? Is it constricted and tight? Is it flowing and expansive? You want to begin to recognize if it's tight and constricted or if it expands and opens. How do you speak to a child that you're raising? Or most of us, when we have a child, is raising us. How do you speak when you're talking to a colleague, an employee, an employer, a friend, a lover, family member? Where do you come from? Are you identifying yourself that you're doing great because you are holding yourself firm in survival mode? That's okay. Just know when to let go. It's really powerful to go through a cycle and to know when it's time to let go. The only way to know when it's time to let go and to take that next step that you intuitively connect to through honoring where you are is through being connected to your energetic light system, those power point centers. So here you are in the root center, lower belly. And here you are, you can feel what it feels like to have a fear about survival, about having the monies that you need. And even when you've got all the monies that you need, then you have to decide how to spend it wisely. Maybe you're running a company and you have to make those choices. Maybe you're a solo parent and you've got double, triple on your plate. Maybe you're in partnership and your partner has a different relationship to survival and everyday activities and money flow and goals than you do, and having to communicate about that and having to receive your truth, power of where you come from inside yourself. What character are you playing in your life? What's your screenplay? What story are you writing? Gets pretty beautiful and can get kind of itchy and scratchy along the way when you start doubting and wondering, what am I following inside of myself? So to move from survival to realization, you must include your heart. So here you are in the root center, the space between your pubic bone and tailbone. We're going to imagine, which we really can do, we're going to bring light up from the core of the earth, in the center of the earth, in its pure access with the central source of the universe is pure white light. And that pure white light is hot. It's a hot flame because it's in the core of the flame of the earth. We're going to pull that white light, a white flame of fire, up now from the center of the earth, up through your feet, through your legs, and into the space between your pubic bone and tailbone. This is an energetic connection. And I just want to invite you to allow that pure white light to move up and through into your root center. And now begin to flow up through a channel, a wide elevator shaft corridor inside your body, up through your belly, inside the navel, in the space below the rib cage, the solar plexus, now up into your heart. And in your heart center, I invite you to receive this white flame of fire and to allow your heart center to be ignited, to be lit. Now, this experience goes through all ancient civilizations, always. It's the underlying original way teachings on the planet of how to connect to source. Everything that is created through Spirit Gateways comes from the original way teachings. The Spirit Gateways 21st Century Liberation Roadmap, all of our courses and programs, the membership site will take you through this full awakening process so you can experience your whole self and oneness self and get a workout. And I'm here to serve you and to help you make your transitions from being in separation to your wholeness and oneness. So here we are. You're bringing the light up from the root center up through your inner elevator shaft corridor, brilliantly lit up in light. And your inner heart in the center of your body is being ignited like a gas stove that ignites when you turn on the switch to get the fuel to create the flame to come through the burner to heat up what you're cooking. Your heart center heats up your life force energies. It ignites the realization circuitry in you to begin to realize you and what you're here for, what you want to complete, what you feel done with, what you ache to move into, the love that you want to create, the love that you want to make, the love that you want to give, the love that you want to receive in your unique way. So to move from one place within you to another place, the fastest way is cracking in, connecting, becoming one with, merging with the light that you are. It will begin to burn through the false perceptions, the false beliefs that you're carrying, because that's what humans do. We carry a state of consciousness or thinking until we can realize that we can go through it. And that's your personal journey. That's your evolutionary process. I invite you to come check out ayanalahi.com. Come subscribe if you haven't already and receive the free 52-week video series that I'm offering you to come into your inbox for free every Saturday. It's called Living from Your Wild Heart. And there's so many nuggets of wisdom and tools for you to apply in your life so that you can move through your own ways of holding back, living behind your own screens of survival into manifesting the next greater version of you so you can make the biggest difference that you want to make in your life. Thank you so much for joining with us, holding you in deep love. May the light shine brightly and illuminate you from within each moment, each day. And I look forward to being with you again in our next podcast together. Be good to yourself. All my love.